Speaking of new talent, you discovered Kehlani.
Yeah.
And I think obviously this happened a while ago, but
Right.
I feel like now's a good time to talk about it because she keeps raising the bar.
Yeah, man.
She's on Eminem's new album,
Yeah,
everything.
I'm so proud of Kehlani.
Okay, so let's go ahead and tell the story. I know you've told it on other platforms,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not on Vlad TV.
Yeah.
So she was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, so see, Vlad, I can tell the whole story because we got a little bit more time. So, and shouts out, that's everybody used to call her, that was like my other daughter for the longest, because when I met her, Kehlani was this chubby 15-year-old little girl.
She was chubby?
Chubby. I mean, even if you look back at the tapes on America's Got Talent, just these chubby cheeks and weird colored hair. And she was in this band called Pop Life,
right?
Which was, Dwayne Wiggins from Tony. His sons were like the leads of the band.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is all shouts out to everybody in the Bay, Oakland, all of that, because that's where they come from. The funny thing was when I met them on the side of the stage, like always, and that's how I really used to meet people at America's Got Talent. They would have them walk up to me, and I saw that they had so much energy. Went out on the stage. This when Piers Morgan was the judge. They did their thing, performed the song. Kehlani was the lead vocalist. A couple of the other kids were playing instruments in the background, Dwayne's sons or whatever. Piers Morgan comes time to make the judgment. He says, brilliant mind that Piers is, you're a star. You got to get rid of those guys in the back. And solid 15-year-old little girl says, I'm not leaving my brothers. I'm not moving. It's you either take all of us or you take me. Crowd gets on her side. Whoa, they go start cursing at Piers, booing him, all that stuff. And he stuck to his guns through the whole season, saying like she's the star, she should get rid. But she got through. They got all the way to 3rd place in the finale of America's Got Talent. Sang with Stevie Wonder, did it and everything. They lost. A year goes by, and I get a phone call, and funny enough, the artist, she was signed to me. She was someone else I discovered from that area. Her father, who's also from that area, because people don't even know this, like just in that community, her, Kehlani, all of them used to kind of like do little shows in the Bay together. So the father hit me up and was like, yo, that girl that was in Pop Life, she's doing bad. Like she's homeless. They kicked her out the group. All this, I was like, yo, she stood up for y'all national television and y'all kicked her out the group.
Haters, man. Haters gonna hate.
But I saw like my heart bled. I was like, yo, I gotta go find her. Like just when you said there's a 16-year-old homeless, and like I remember at the time it was like, yeah, she's all tatted up now and all that. I was like, fuck all that. I don't care about the tats. Like I just want to make sure she's okay. Found her, ended up having a conversation with her guardian at the time because, her mom wasn't doing so well. She's been struggling with substance abuse for some years. And Kehlani lost her father. Her father was murdered when he was 18 and she was like an infant.
She was like 1, yeah.
Yeah. So she had it bad, you know what I mean? And they was just looking at her as she was this reckless, rebellious child that won't listen to anybody. So once I got to her, I was like, listen, make me a deal. I promise you. All you got to do is finish high school. I'll take care of everything else. I'll get you to LA. I'll get you in the studio. I'll teach you how to write. Whatever you need. Apartments, all of that. Just finish school. She made the deal. She went, finished school with like top of the class, like did it all. We got her to LA and we got to work. And
right.
The rest is history.
Well, because I think she was on Angie Martinez. She said that you got her an apartment in LA and it was like furnished for a girl.
Yeah.
And she said up to that point, she had never had her own bed.
Yeah.
She slept on the same bed as her siblings, I guess.
Yeah.
And she was very like, what does this older guy want from me?
yeah, that's real.
You know what I mean? Like,
because I was married at the time.
Yeah. Right, because what's the age difference between y'all? Like 15 years or something? Yeah, something like that.
But even like you got to remember too, like I'm in my late 20s and she's 16.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that
yeah.
So and there were people like, man, what you doing with that little girl? Like, man, I just believe in her.
Right. Yeah, and she was like, yeah. So she didn't know what your intentions were, which is kind of obvious in a situation like that. But yet, you set her up.
Yeah.
In this apartment, and so she was signed to you at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Even people I work with, I don't do paperwork until it's necessary. And that means I don't do paperwork until I got the corporations, the big systems wanting to do something. Because otherwise, and even with Kehlani, I never wanted anything from her, so I never signed her to the type of paperwork of like, I never signed her to paperwork. I said, I just want to see you win. I don't want none of your money. I don't want nothing from you. But when Atlantic and all of them, and they came calling, I was like, yeah, I need paperwork with y'all. Like, I'll do, you and I can do some paperwork, but I don't want nothing from Kehlani. I don't want anything to.
So she's not signed to you?
That's what it is. Like, I made my arrangement with Atlantic. So I don't touch none of her money. And I said I made that from I don't want nothing from her. I don't want no show money. I don't want no 360. Because first of all, I don't believe in those 360 deals and all that stuff.
I mean, but the labels all do.
Yeah, but I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be a part of it.
She probably has a 360 deal.
Yeah,
right?
like whatever her connection is with Atlantic and whatever, I stayed out of that. I said, I was like, give me what one. I want all the money I put in, and I still don't think I got all my money back yet, but I know it's coming. But I just want to be paid back for the time and effort that I put in, and other than that, you know, and whatever the deal is based off of after everyone else eats and it feels equal. Like, I'm an equal dude, man. I don't want nothing more than I deserve.
I mean, because I just interviewed Matthew Knowles.
Yeah.
And, you know, he talked about how he has like a 3,000 song catalog.
Right.
And even though he doesn't have the catalog for Destiny's Child and Beyonce, he has the management fees.
Right.
From all those early projects.
Right.
Which carry on, I guess, forever.
Right.
Right? You know, if you're a manager on a particular album, you still get that 15% or whatever else. So you never wanted the assets from a Kehlani, considering that her music.
Nah, it's funny. I've argued with so many lawyers and things. This is what I never, because I'm not hurting for money. I always tell people, regardless of your success, my lifestyle will never change. So whether you make it or don't make it, I'm gonna still be rich. Like, I'm good. So, and that's what I tell all my artists. Okay. So don't ever think I need to steal from you. But I want to see you win. So like Kehlani, especially because even with Kehlani, she had been dealing with some people that every situation where people were doing her dirty and she couldn't trust them. So I was like, I believe in you. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want your publishing. I just want to see you win. And I was like, I don't ever want a dime from you. And in that, when we did the deals, they were like, yeah, so do you still want her album sale? How much money you want from her albums? I'm like, I don't want that. Let her have that. Give that to her. I just want what I'm owed, and that's it. And that's how it works. So, because this is the one thing you don't want. And it's funny because whether it's JD, Puffy, like, I be having these conversations, and because I look up to those guys, where they have all of these people who are upset with them, or it's call them the devil and all like this because, oh, you robbed me, or you over here eating good. Like, no, this man gave you an opportunity.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, y'all didn't hit the success goals you wanted to. So he's gonna continue on to be the businessman that he is. But you had your shot. You didn't hit it out the park. So is that this man's fault? Right. Because he got more money than you. So, but the problem is because they sign these deals that say, oh, I get charged this much for studio time, or oh, he's making this, oh, he owns this percentage of my publishing. Mm-hmm. That looks like, oh, he was robbing me. Oh, he was misusing my budget. So I never want to have those conversations. I want to be able to sit down with Kehlani every time and be like, it's a pleasant conversation. There's never, oh, you took this money to any of my artists. No artist can come to me and say that I stole or took anything from them. Because to this day, mostly every artist that I've ever worked with is still in debt to me. I've spent way more money on them than they made for me. I'm still like, Kehlani might be the first one that at this point, because the people don't understand, in the success of the music industry, the more success you get, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
So you think you balling, that goes back to what we was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a #1 record. Oh, they paying me this. Yo, all of that, all them views, all of them trips, all them tours cost. And at the end of the day, there's somebody dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and checking all of those books to make it look like, for them, the bigger system, that they didn't make the profit that they really made.
Yeah. That's the major label hustle.
That's the major label hustle.
It's actually
they don't ever want to look profitable.
Right. It's actually why I stopped making films.
Right.
Because I never made a royalty check.
Exactly.
And my shit was on Showtime. My shit was on Netflix. I never saw a royalty check, which is why I launched Vlad TV.
Brilliant, demonic lawyers and accountants that are trained to make it look like they never make a profit.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
They make just enough profit for the shareholders to be happy.
Yep.